Why Croatia? What am I doing here?
The beautiful cathedral in the back.
My top 3 cafes in Zagreb. Winter in Zagreb has been a little intense this year, but to be honest, I've been loving it. Apart from how dark and grey it is, therefore making my microphone look like a lightsaber. But other than that, the cold weather, the most snow Zagreb has seen in 13 years, and all the cozy, slow vibes. I've been living in Croatia for 2.5 years now, and this season here just hits different. So in today's video, we're romanticizing life and winter in Zagreb. From snowy days, my favorite cafes, and getting a library card. Plus I've added a poll on my Instagram stories, and some of you dropped your questions regarding life in Croatia, how to make friends abroad, and even why I decided to move to Croatia, especially after having lived in the UK and in the Netherlands before. So make sure to stick around for some snippets of this Q&A. And before we jump into this video, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to another Happiness Diaries video vlog. In case you're new here, my name is Irene and I'm a mindful growth coach and creator with a background in neuroscience and positive psychology. I've also been journaling for almost 20 years, and here on this channel we talk about all things mindful self-development, journaling, mindset, self-discipline, and a lot more. So if that's your vibe, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want more resources, maybe even join our journaling events to help you grow more mindfully, check out the Happiness Diaries journal, my Instagram, as well as Waves of Thoughts. And with that, let's jump straight into the vlog. It's been snowing non-stop these past few days, and today it finally stopped. It looks beautiful outside. There's a thick layer of snow, and your girl is going to be brave enough to go outside and face it. I need to go into the embassy because next week Portugal is having elections, and of course I want to do my duty and vote. And to be fair, I'm really excited to see as well how the center looks covered in snow. So I've prepared myself. I have like 3 thick layers, and I'm going to put on my big, super fluffy and warm jacket to try to survive the cold. It's like -8, I think. So we really need to be very, very cozy. Of course, cannot miss the gloves, and gotta put a nice hat on as well. So I'm very nice and warm throughout the whole journey. But I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to experience winter wonderlands. So let's see how it goes. I decided to go for a little stroll after voting, and I've just casually made my way onto the upper city. So we have the beautiful cathedral in the back and all these beautiful views of the city with the newer buildings next to like the older ones, and it started snowing a little bit once again, but it's just so cozy. It's so nice, and I dressed really properly, so I'm really cozy and warm, which is really nice. So I'm gonna have a little bit more of a stroll and then make my way back home. might be wondering, why Croatia? What am I doing here? So short answer, because of love. Longer answer for a little bit more context. I was born and raised in Portugal, and when I turned 18, I moved abroad to the UK to study, and that's where I met my Croatian boyfriend. Once we finished our studies, we moved together to the Netherlands to do our masters, and then once we finished that, we were in a long-distance relationship for a little bit until we decided to move to Croatia. Actually, at that point, we were considering going back to the UK, specifically moving to London, but to be honest, the UK has changed so much since we studied there, so we picked Croatia for a few reasons. First one, safety. Zagreb is the safest capital in Europe, and I really feel that. Even walking by myself at night, I know that I can wear my headphones and nothing will happen to me. And of course, for me, that is a huge factor regarding where I live. And then secondly, of course, connection. We are close to family, to friends. And to be honest, between Portugal and Croatia, we do prefer the living conditions of Croatia. And to be honest, in general, both countries are very similar when it comes to values and traditions. So it wasn't too much of a cultural shock moving here. The adjustment period of moving to Croatia though was a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. As I said, I moved 2.5 years ago, and back then I was at a very different space, mentally especially. I was feeling very shy after COVID isolation, and to be honest, all the bureaucracies of getting my residence permit and opening up my business here in Croatia were very stressful. So the start of my Croatia chapter involved a lot of getting out of my comfort zone moments, also switching from this rushing and very workaholic kind of mindset that I had from my UK era into a slower pace of living. And then of course, meeting new people and making new friends, which brings me to the next point. I've gotten such a good question regarding how do you meet people, how do you make friends abroad? So when I moved, there were barely any opportunities for international people. So after isolating myself for the first few months, I went solo to a ceramics workshop as a way to boost my confidence levels and also to get out of my comfort zone. And from there, I joined the only group at the time that was English speaker friendly, which is called Zagrepreneurs, by one of my now very close friends, Rebecca. Since then, a lot more groups have been popping up, which is absolutely great. And it's been mostly through these spaces that I've been able to connect with so many amazing women, meet new people, make new friends, and build such an aligned group of girlfriends. So this would probably be my tip number one when it comes to making friends, which is joining groups and attending events. Like really putting yourself out there in spaces where you're most likely to meet other like-minded people. So you could sign up for the gym, for a workout class. I know a lot of people will join dance groups or runner clubs as well. Or you could attend a workshop or look for local communities on Instagram and on Facebook. All soaked. I stopped by the store to buy some soup now to make for dinner. Look at this. Oh my god. It started snowing, mixed with rain, and now it's just straight up pouring. Look at this. My hair is dripping. Crazy. And I get home, have a cozy shower, make some tea, make myself all cozy. One of my favorite things about Croatia has to be the coffee culture, which is unlike anything that I've experienced before. For example, while I was living in the UK, a coffee was meant to be taken on the go, drank super quickly, while you're stressing about 1,000 other things on your to-do list. And in Portugal, we're used to having a very quick bica that you can literally only drink with like 3 packs of sugar in it because of how burnt it usually is. But in Croatia, coffee is a completely different story. Everywhere you go, and literally any time of the day, you will see every single cafe completely packed. Because here, Croatians sit for like 2 hours with their kava s mlijekom, because coffee is their moment to pause, to slow down, do a little bit of people watching as well, and in general just exist, which is very much slow living vibes at its finest. And there are so many great coffee shops and cafes here in Zagreb, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind making a whole video dedicated to coffee in Croatia and in Zagreb, maybe all of my recommendations, some reviews, almost like a full cafe traveling kind of guide. But for now, I wanted to share with you my top 3 cafes here in Zagreb. Number 1, we have Falco. It's located by Maximir and it's just the coziest vibes. Really great team, great coffee, great atmosphere. They also have some food. It's a great one if you want to do a bit of co-working or if you just want to sit and have your coffee. Number 2, we have Express Bar. This one is very, very close to the main city center. And to be honest, I would go as far as saying that it is the best tasting coffee in the whole city. It's a little small. It definitely does not work for co-working, but if you want to sit very close to the main square and have a really good cup of coffee, that's your go-to place. And then lastly, number 3, it's Holographic. This is a newer space in the city and I love it because it is just absolutely beautiful. The most aesthetic cafe in Zagreb. The entrance is fully reserved to just sitting down and having your drinks. And then in the back, they have another room where they sometimes host events, but also during the day, you can go and co-work there. So there's always a lot of people working with their laptops, studying. And then in the evening, they usually host events. Sometimes there's DJs as well. So it's very good vibes overall. I work from home, and if you work from home as well, you might resonate with this. The fact that just being in the same environment all the time can be almost sometimes counterproductive. So what I normally do whenever I need a bit of a change in scenery is I'll go to a coffee shop or to a cafe. With that said, back in my early uni days, I absolutely loved going to the library to study, to read, to work. And so I thought, why not do the same now? So today I'm going on a little adventure. I've actually never done this before here in Zagreb. So we're going to explore a little bit and I'm going to try out working from a library in the city center. If this works well, I'll keep doing this more regularly and even trying out a few different ones. But for today, we'll start simple with one very close to the main square. Go. I've really come to falling in love with Croatia and with Zagreb. It's slower pace of living, romanticizing winter, the coffee culture, the people are great. To be honest, the only thing I'm not really a big fan of is how much Croatians smoke. But thankfully there have been more and more events and cafes and spaces that are smoke-free. So in general, I'm very happy to be here and I'm very happy to also document my journey and share about my life here in Croatia and in Zagreb. Very much just how I used to do here on this YouTube channel when I was studying in the UK and in the Netherlands. If you've stayed until this point of the video, I want you to comment down below the Croatian flag emoji to let me and others know that you're still here and that you're also on your mindful growth journey. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I really hope you have enjoyed today's video and I'll catch you in the next one.